Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. We are now in Anuvaka 8 of Sri Rudram. And this Anuvaka is considered by many people as a very important Anuvaka. It's very popular, mainly because of the Panchakshari mantra which is in this particular Anuvaka. Namah Shivaya, that Panchakshari mantra, is considered as a king of all the mantras. And since that appears, that Namam itself is appearing in the Veda mantra, the whole Anuvaka is considered as important. And this mantra, this Anuvaka, is focusing on Parameshwara's, the Gunadisyam, the unique Gunadisyam, gunas of Parameshwara. And as in the other Anuvakas, it also brings out the Sarva Antaryamitvam in this. The whole Anuvaka is considered as one mantra, and it has 17 yajus inside that. And the benefit of chanting this particular Anuvaka is to gain sovereignty, the wealth, and get into the world of Lord Shiva, Shivaloka Padavi. And obviously, it depends on how much devotion and what attitude with which we do this chant. Namah Somaya cha Rudraya cha. Namah Somaya cha Rudraya cha. Namah Somaya cha, Somaya. The Somaya, sometimes people take it as the Soma creeper, the Kodi, Soma Kodi, which is a mythical creeper mentioned in Vedas. And Devdas used to use that for doing a Somabhanam. And sometimes Soma refers to Chantra. However, in this context, neither of that meaning apply. Somaya is basically Uma Sagavartante iti Somaha. Tasmai Somaya. Because he is with Uma Mageshwari, is called Somaya. Saga Umaya Somaya. Saga Umaya. With Uma. Saga Umaya. Uma, the word or the name Uma, consists of The components of the Omkara Pranava Mantra. The Omkara Pranava Mantra has A, U, Uma also has A, U, So it's essentially Uma is the Pranava Swarup. Uma and Pranava has no difference. And whenever we talked about Ma Devi, it's a Sakti Roop which is Ishta Sakti, Kriya Sakti, Jnana Sakti. A devotee may be in different states. Maybe a devotee is not fully matured. He needs to get the desire to get to know about the Lord. That mumukshutvam is needed. That's the very first step for a normal person. Such a devotee will be praying to the Ishta Sakti to get that mumukshutvam. Some of the devotees will have the mumukshutvam, but the mind is not fully pure. The Chiddasuddhi is not yet there in a good degree, to a good degree. Such devotees needs to follow various sadhanas like karma yoga, bhakti yoga, dhyana yoga. They need to follow all these things so that they can get that Chiddasuddhi. That means the devotee has to do some karma to get that Chiddasuddhi. For them, what is needed is Kriya Sakti. So, Uma Maheshwari blesses that devotee with the Kriya Shakti. And there are students like us who are into Vedanta, who wants to really understand who am I and who is that Lord. Such students, such devotees are looking for that jnanam, and such devotees are looking for that vairagyam to maintain on that Chiddasuddhi with Shamadhamadikal, continue to be on that. Jnana, vairagyam both are needed. That's why Shankara Bhagavad Pada was singing Jnana Vairagyam. He was asking Jnana Vairagyam to Lord Annapurna. So Uma is the one who gives that Sakti to the devotee regardless of which area, which level they are in. So my salutations to that Lord who is with Uma, so that it can give me the blessing to get across this. Kaivalya Upanishad emphasizes the importance of the blessing or the Sakti that needs to come from Uma. Uma Sakayam Parameshwaram Prabhum Trilochanam Neelakantam Prasantam Dhyatva Munir Gacchati Bhuta Yonim Samastak Sakshim Tamasap Parastad. With Uma's Sakayam, Parameshwaran Prabhum Trilogam, all the adjectives are given to the Lord, who will bless me to get rid of this darkness, this ignorance. Tamasap Parastad. So by doing this, one is able to get rid of those papas. To get rid of those papas, whatever papa already done needs to be spent. And that part is going to be done by Rudra. So that's why Namas Somayacha Rudrayacha. Rudra is the one who who get rid of the pabas, the samsara. So to get rid of the papas, that means the papa is already there in your account, and that needs to be given, manifest at the right time, in a right way. And that is given by Rudra. The strength to overcome such pain is given by Uma. That's why Uma Sakayam. And my salutations to that Lord who gives me to get rid of this papas, Nama Rudraya, and also who gives me the strength and the Sakti to get rid of that is Nama Somaya. So in this particular two namas, or in this yajus, the Jignasu is saluting, a Mumukshu is saluting, asking for the moksha purushartha. And to get rid of the samsara dukkha is Uma, that is Somaya, that helps on it. Moving on. Namastambraya cha arunaya. So we talked about this Lord. This Lord is not, it's an avyakta rupam. It's difficult to understand and comprehend. The pratyaksha rupam of this Lord is nothing but the Sun God. We talked about it even earlier. So when the sun is rising in the morning, the rising sun is in tambra color, the rising sun. And then it becomes Aruna around the midday. Around noontime, it becomes fully white and bright. And my salutation to that Sun Lord, who is manifested as a rising sun as well as the midday sun. The Lord's blessing through sun is always there. There is no partiality. It's available to everyone. But it is for that individual to tap that potential and take it. Typically, when we talk about the Lord, Iswara is said to manifest in 8 different ways. Ashtamurtis. The Ashtamurtis are the 5 elements. Agasa, Vayuhu, Agnihi, Apaha, Prithvi. These are the 5 elements, plus sun, moon, and the self. These are the 8. So these are the Ashtamurtis. So the Lord manifests in this all the 8 forms. And in this particular mantra, the Upasya is supposed to be the sun. And praying sun is typically part of our culture. All our Sandhyavandanam is focused on sun. Gayatri Mantra is focusing on sun. Surya Namaskara is on sun. So everything is around that, which is commonly available to everybody. So, as a devotee, we should have an ability to see the Lord on the nature itself. And sun is a great example for seeing that. On the same note, the Iswara darshan and Swatma darshan, the Atma darshan, is no different. If we are really matured enough, we should be in a position to look the Swatma darshan. If you are not able to come to that level, that's okay, because we will have an inhibition to say that I am God, I am that Iswara. We may not be comfortable in telling that. If you are not comfortable in thinking or telling that way, that's fine. But see Iswara everywhere, including yourself. Then, one day or other, it will come with the Swatma darshan, that I am that Lord. I am nothing but the Lord. I am not the body. That thought will come eventually. But the Shastra says both should be equated at the same level. Unless we are able to match and look at it at this level, the samsara dukkham will always be there. Samsara heduhu dvaida buddhi. If you have a dvaida buddhi, that samsara will manifest. That's a samsara hedu. That's a samsara reason. Mulakaran. And when there is only ekam, there is no fear. There is no samsara. When Arjuna was given the Virat darshan of Lord Sri Krishna, he saw everything, entire world he saw in Lord Krishna. He saw Bhima, he saw Duryodhana, he saw Bhishma, he saw Drona, he saw everybody on the Lord. He got frightened. Why he got frightened is because Arjuna failed to see himself on that roop. He saw everybody else other than him. Therefore, the division is he, I, and everybody else. Two division. That is the dukkha hetu. But where he got the dukkham? He got that bhayam from the Lord who is Abhaya Swarupa. That's why Shastra says, Abhaye Bhayadarshinaha. These are the people who get fear from the Nirbhaya Swarupa. So the Iswara Darshana is nothing different than the Swatma Darshana. That's the ultimate thing that we are looking for. To get that, we should have enough knowledge. Because I need the enough knowledge, that needs to be, I need to get rid of my pabas. To get rid of those pabas, my salutations to that Rudra. To get that jnana, I need that knowledge. The jnana sakti has to flow into me. Therefore, namassomayach. Moving on. Namastambraya cha arunaya cha, we talked about it. And next one is Namashankaya cha pashupataye cha. Now, when we talked about, we wanted to get that knowledge, and Swatma Darshanam and Iswara Darshanam, we wanted to have it. The question comes is, why should I have that? All of us, every single jiva in this universe is performing some activity or other simply because it wants some sugam. The sugam is needed for that Atma Sugam, for that Sugam, for that Anandam, every Jiva is performing something or other. There is no one, no activity that can take place without that Atma Sugam. If we say there is somebody who is sacrificing, because that person has a Sugam on that sacrifice, therefore the person is doing it. So, Namasankhaya, the Lord, the Iswara, takes us to happiness. He carries us to that happiness. He gives us the path for happiness. Therefore, Namashankaya. Sam Sugam Gamayati idi Sankha. Sam Sugam Gamayati idi Sankha. The one who takes you to the Sugha, the one who takes you to that Ananda is Sankha. Since Lord is in that form, my salutations to that Lord who is the one who takes me to that Sugha. And why should he do that? He does that because he is Pashupate. He is the Lord of all the Jivas. Because he is the Lord of all the Jivas, he has mercy on these Jivas and takes us to that happiness. Pashupate. Namashankaya cha Pashupataye cha. He is the protector. Because he is the protector, he is trying to give you happiness. But the Sugam, when we say, it can be visualized in multiple ways. Samsarika Sugam, the worldly pleasures. Vidya Sugam, the happiness, the blissfulness we get from the knowledge. Vaisakika Sugam or the Yoga Sugam. It can be any one of the Sugam, it can be. But no matter which Sugam you are looking for, whatever Sugam we are looking for, the Lord is the one that takes you on that path there. Nama Ugraya cha Bhimaya cha. Nama Ugraya cha Bhimaya cha. Streshtam, anything that is Streshtam, anything that is the best, the worshipable, that is Streshtam, that is Ugra. Nama Ugraya cha. So, anything that is Streshtam, what can be Streshtam? What can be considered as the best? Generally, when we say best, it's the superlative degree, meaning to say there is nothing above that. If there is anything comparable, then it is not superlative. It's uncomparable. There is something beyond, over and above. So, Iswara, there is no equivalent to that. It's Ekam. It is Ekam yesterday, it is Ekam today, and it will be Ekam tomorrow. Therefore, there is nobody who can match, who can come equivalent to the Lord. Therefore, Lord is Shrestha. Therefore, Ugraya, and to such Lord, my namaskaram is there. Bhimaya. Bhima means the cause of fear. And we see a orderliness in this universe. Sun goes at the right time, sun rises at the right time, sets at the right time, seasons comes at the right time. Agni is always heat, water is always cold. Earth rotates in a particular speed, the gravitation remains constant, speed of light remains constant. All these things are orderliness. There must be some policeman or somebody who monitors the function of all these things and makes sure that they are in the orderly form. And such person, such Purusha is nothing but the Lord Himself. Kathopanishad, this story will be coming, I mentioned it earlier. The Agni, Vayu and all, Indra, all of them, they were fighting among themselves. And then Yaksha comes, that story I mentioned it. So there they will be telling, the Yaksha will be telling, all of the things are working, doing their function because of my presence. Because of the presence of the Lord in each jiva and each deva, the devas are performing. And because the same Lord is present on jivas, jiva is performing. They simply follow the mandate. That's it. Therefore, the Lord is Bhimaya, the one that causes the fear for all devatas even. So, Nama Ugraya cha Bhimaya cha. Namo Agre Vathaya Dure Vathaya. Namo Agre Vathaya Dure Vathaya. Vathaya is protect. My prayers to the Lord who protects being in the front of the fighting, in front of me, in front of the fighting, like a front soldier. And then fights there. My salutations to such person, such Purusha, Agre Vathaya. In Mahabharata, it's mentioned. Arjuna was telling to Lord Krishna, Hey Krishna, in the war I am trying to go and fight. And when I go, there is somebody in front of me who fights with those soldiers, and every soldier is falling down and dying. And the whole world thinks that I am the one who is really winning those soldiers. Actually, I didn't do it. It was done by somebody in front of me. And who is that person? This is in the early part of Mahabharata. Then in the later part of Mahabharata, I think when Bhagavan is talking about Moksha Dharma or Santi Parvada, something like that, Bhagavan will be telling that Arjuna, hey Arjuna, when you are fighting, there was one who was going in front of you and killing everybody, and that is none other than Rudra. Understand that person as Rudra. And same Bhagavan Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita that I am the one who is there before you are not killing anybody. I killed all of them even before the war has started by my mere look. So here Krishna is same as Rudra is same as that Iswara. Yet there is no differentiation. Don't get bugged up by the term Krishna or Rudra. It's the same Iswara. So the same Iswara is Agre Vathaya, one who being in the front and helps for any time dharma is involved. Dure Vathaya, one who doesn't even come there. He is staying somewhere else. But still he will be able to fight with you. That is Dure Vathaya. So whatever we see outside is the object of the enmity. But the enemy is not outside. The enemy is inside. The enemy that is inside needs to be killed first. By eliminating the enemy inside, we can always fight outside. So whether it is outside enemy or inside enemy, you need the support of Agre Vathaya or Dure Vathaya. Therefore, my salutations to the Lord, who is Agre Vathaya, Dure Vathaya.